Once a venture, always a venture. Welcome to Voice of the Ventures, the podcast edition, where we dive into the past, celebrate the present, and build the future of our Bishop Foley Catholic community. Join us as we reconnect, reminisce, and keep the venture spirit alive. Hey. I am Antoinette Slobodian, the Alumni Engagement Relations Coordinator, and I am so excited to be here with you guys. I've only been at Foley for about 4 months, and really being with all of you, seeing the camaraderie, seeing the community, and really having you guys as my friends, I'm just excited to be here. So, So I'm really excited to introduce all of you to the Foley community on our very, very first podcast, which is Inside Foley, a conversation with alumni employees.
Yay!
In no particular order, so don't worry. I have over here, kitty corner, Kaitlyn Chornoby. Kaitlyn Chornoby is a graduate of 2008, serves as the Design and Marketing Director at her alma mater. Thanks for coming, Kaitlyn.
Of course.
You are amazing. And to my left, we have Emma Frager.
Frager.
Oh, I'm trying to be French here.
It's not the first time.
Peurach. So Emma Peurach, married name, right, is a dedicated school counselor with over 12 years of experience, currently serving as her 9th year at Foley. Welcome.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
Me too. And Kevin Swift. So we have Kevin Swift. He is currently our technology and engineering teaching and head coach of our first robotics team. Did I say that right? Mm-hmm. Okay. The Foley Freeze. From the class of 2007, he has been in a teaching role since 2021. Thank you for doing that.
Thanks for having me on here.
Ooh, this is so great to have our first episode, isn't it?
And with the best decade of graduates.
Yes,
Yes.
that's true.
So we have 2007, 2004, and 2008.
Yep.
Yeah, in the 2000s.
Yep.
Do you guys remember 1999 partying, right? And then when all of a sudden 2000 came, everybody's like, gotta save water, and doing all that. So you guys
the
are...
Y2K moment.
Yep.
Yes,
I have
Y2K.
very clear memories of
Yep.
that. Yeah.
What did you guys end up doing? What was your
Well, nothing
biggest-
happened.
No,
Right?
nothing happened, but did you guys hoard water? What did...
I know that I was over at my friend Natalie's house. We were 8th grade. It was our 8th grade year, and we used to do sleepovers and stuff together. So I remember being over at her house, and then we were waiting for the moment to happen and the clocks to go over, and then nothing happened.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
Right,
I remember
like
all that
top.
huge anticipation, and then
Shut down your computer.
Yep.
And
Oh, yes,
all
that
this stuff.
too.
It's
That too.
crazy. Yeah.
And here we are in next year is 2025. So it's
Yep.
whew, we all look nice and young.
Oh, yeah.
Getting younger by the minute. Oh my gosh. So Foley, really, being a part of you guys is amazing. I really wish, as the Alumni Relations Coordinator of Foley, the first question that I get asked is that, am I an alumni? And I'm like, no, I'm not, but I really wish I was, because I am wrapped into all of your stories. I went to numerous reunions, and it's just everybody has that community and the impact. Yeah. So tell me about it. Really, what made you come back to Foley as an employee? Emma.
For me, when I decided I wanted to become a school counselor, in my head I was like, I'd love to work at a school like Foley, or I'd like to work at Foley. So I worked at another school for about 3 years, and then the position opened up at Foley, and it was the right timing, and interviewed for the position, and here I am today. So 9 years later. So I just wanted to be part of that community that I had. And I think that's the thread that's always kind of tied Foley together, is that family aspect, that community.
And I think, either mentally or physically for us, right? We never totally left Foley,
Right.
right? Like we were always in some part there. I mean, we were still with the robotics team even when we weren't working at Foley.
Yeah.
So it was such a natural, like, I don't want to call it like a homecoming, but it was an easy fit back, right? You already knew what you were getting into. You believed in what Foley was. And,
Yeah. So for me, I mean, like you said, I never really completely left.
Blessing and a curse.
Yeah. When people ask me why I stay, sometimes they say Stockholm syndrome. That's the joke answer, actually. Moving into the teaching role, I had been around for a long time and doing IT. With COVID, I was doing a lot of independent consulting, and that dried up when everybody was at home. So I talked to the principal and said, when we open up, I'm willing to sub, right? I'm generally available. That turned into about half a year, just under half the year in one class, of course, in a language that I didn't speak.
What language was that?
American Sign Language.
Oh.
Yes.
He was
So
fantastic.
can you
Yeah.
sign
Yeah.
something?
Nothing appropriate. Most of what I recall was actually learned at the Renaissance Festival. Yep. Yes.
Good old Boca.
Yes. And so anyway, about halfway through that, I talked to our principal, Frank Cavetti,
Yes.
and he said, we could take classes from that were kind of spread out, distributed among a number of teachers, and bring that under one umbrella into a technology and engineering position, and that's where we are today.
That's amazing. You've already made such an impact with all of the groups that you're already, committed to, and you're spreading yourself everywhere with all of your talent. So, such a great story. So, with dealing or doing all your mentorship through subbing, and then that whole transition of becoming a teacher, how difficult or how easy was it for you?
It was pretty easy for me personally. I'd already been around in an academic environment enough. I'd had a lot of people tell me throughout the years that I should look at teaching.
Yeah.
So I finally just went and did it and went through what's called the alternate path to certification. So I didn't have to go back and get a master's or anything like that, which was always kind of my big deterrent because that's a huge time and money investment.
It is. Yeah.
So that was a much better path for me. Yeah.
And you had all the credentials already,
Yeah.
right? So
Yep.
with
enough experience and
Yeah.
knowledge there.
Do you have nieces and nephews that you've had, that you taught already? You know what I mean? Like you had experience
No, it was
other
just
than mentorship?
Yeah, it was just through Foley. I don't have any younger
Well, and
nieces and
being,
nephews,
you
but
know,
being
part of
around,
robotics,
being part of
yeah.
robotics and
Yes.
sticking around. I grew from being that college student mentor, older student to being now a teacher. In my 30s,
Right.
right? A much different relationship there than we
Yeah.
had then.
Just a
that?
different
I was gonna
form of
say.
Yeah.
teaching,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
A bit different form, and it evolves over time.
Right.
Yeah, no, and that's a great journey that you have, with the whole impact of you as a student and you going through design engineering and technology and then having all that and coming back, to the schools. So
It is cool to see the skills that we started to get at Foley, cultivate so dominantly, right?
Yeah.
And not only what we decided to pursue as a career,
Right.
but that it took us back to Foley to give those same skills back to the kids that are there today. It's
Yeah.
a cute little full circle story. Yeah.
It is. So I know you do robotics as well, so I know Kaitlyn does too. And for about 15 years you're mentoring.
Yeah, that number
the Foley
keeps ticking up.
Free.
Yeah, you're the one that wrote it down. I didn't do the math.
Yeah.
But how did you get involved with mentoring the children and with robotics? I mean, I know it's huge, right? But what made you be like, hey, this morning I just want to mentor? No.
Well, I mean, it's that same idea that we never really wanted to leave Foley, right? So I recognized that I had, especially being not a creative on a robotics team, but someone more outside of the technical aspect to it, I had a unique set of skills to bring to something that is, that's not normally part of the program.
Right, so design and not engineering. I'm sorry, design and marketing,
yeah.
and photography. So all of that, yes.
Yeah, and I mean, we have every year we've had kids that are interested in doing that type of
Yeah,
work.
it's been very steady since
Yeah,
our time there.
yeah, and it was, I'm a big science nerd myself, so even though I'm not necessarily in engineering, it's cool to link those two and show how you can, be in more of an artsy kind of field and still be part of STEM.
Right.
And then it just kind of naturally continued, I guess, right? I always had kids that wanted to learn, so I had a reason to stay and wanted to teach. And now that I'm working there full time, it makes it even easier.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
When you started, were there a lot of other girls on the team, or has that grown since?
No. So when I was on the team, there was
Like when we were in high school?
Yeah,
Oh,
2 or 3.
Probably like
There-
2 or 3.
Yeah,
Wow.
more the year before.
Yeah. So there were 2 in my class. We
Yeah.
were a much smaller team back then. Now we got
Yes.
about 45 students. Back then we had like 15
If
at the
that,
most.
yeah.
So just very different
So
environment.
you're always looking for more, people to get involved, right?
Oh,
so
sure.
So it's called First
Mm-hmm.
and Foley Freeze, and so how do we get involved with that?
You can talk to me if you want to mentor. I am the head coach.
Be careful.
1-800
It's,
Yeah,
it's a
it's
commitment for life.
you've got to come to me, and then you got to.
Is there a password or something?
There's
that I have to-
there's a secret password. No, there's no password, but you have to understand it
Password
is a
you've
lot
been
of.
warned.
Yeah, you've been warned. Don't do it. It's a trap.
because
But a
one-
wonderful trap.
Yes,
Very,
you want to
very
try.
good to be in, yes.
You will enjoy it. It's very rewarding, but it is a lot of work, and if you're like me, you give up your entire life for about 4 months of the year.
Well, I think one day, we have students
Mm-hmm.
that go to our school that want to be like you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They look up to you. You guys are leaders in our community, in the school, and mentors. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
that's what you are. So yeah, that's amazing.
Well, it definitely creates a network and a community aspect. And, is it interesting for you to see, former students come back and become mentors?
Yes. Yeah, it's we can rely on that actually.
Yep.
We've got a number of students, one that just graduated from Kettering last year. He's stepping up and taking a huge leadership role in the team to help me out. And we've got others. We've got alumni from other teams. One from Colorado that he got connected to us through Kettering University. Some of our other alumni were there. And somehow got dragged in. So he's our programming mentor. And then let's see, who else do we have? Obviously, who am I forgetting? Somebody.
So worldly.
Yeah.
Everybody's
There's so
worldly.
many
Yeah,
that
there's
will
yes.
pop in
yes.
too,
We'll have a
right?
lot pop in. We've got
Yeah.
alumni parents that stick around
Yes.
and help, from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Right? We've got people that graduated
Amazing.
with Kaitlyn that their parents are still helping us.
Yes.
So
Yep.
Wonderful. I love it. So, Emma,
Yes.
I know you married your love of your life. And we actually, I don't know if you guys know, but we spoke. But can you tell me a little bit how you guys met?
So we were at Foley around the same time, but I don't think we ever had an instance where we were either met in person. I didn't really know him. I knew of him. I knew his name. I knew his sister, but never really interacted at Foley. Ended up going to Oakland around the same time too. And then, because Foley's a small community, we connected on Facebook. He posted something about a concert, the Shins, if anyone knows the Shins.
Love
And I was like, oh my God, I'm so jealous. And he was like, oh, you should go to the concert too. and the rest was history. So we started talking from there, and then dated for, I think, 4 or 5 years before we got engaged.
Oh, that's
And, yeah.
amazing. So do you guys share a lot of Foley memories back? Okay.
We do. We didn't have any really friends that overlapped. He was actually friends with some kids in my class. I knew some kids from his class from being on swim team, which I didn't know you were on swim team too.
Yep,
so that's
I was.
cool.
Wait, what
Yeah.
grade did he graduate?
He was 02,
02.
2002. But yeah, it just having those shared memories, I think, is one of the key reasons
get
why we
there.
work.
Yeah,
We just
yeah.
have a lot of shared memories and that familiarity with each other and the time that we spent and our Foley experience. So yeah,
I love it.
we're good pals.
So we were on the swim team. You did it your senior year, yeah?
Yeah.
So we would have been on the 1 year. And
Oh,
I just-
really?
Well, yeah.
What
So
year
you-
did you start?
Oh, wait, did I start in 04?
you
Were
would
you-
have
are
come
you
in the
be-
fall of 04.
Oh.
Are you?
I
you're
was
behind
fall
him?
of 03. She's a year
Okay.
behind me.
So he was
I'm
Kevin was a
I've-
freshman
yes,
when
yes.
I was a senior.
Got it. Okay.
Speaking of that,
Yes.
I remember my class won
No,
the Spirit
absolutely
the Spirit
not.
Point competition.
Nope.
Were you part of that protest?
Absolutely, I was.
I need to hear about this.
Sore losers?
No. The correct winners, you mean. So for Spirit Points every year, everything got tallied. It culminated in this big Spirit Day. So each class would have to come up with a skit that the whole class would participate in, I think, for the most part.
Yeah.
A class.
Our class did. I don't think your class all went down for that.
We did
which
not,
is why we
but
won.
we really, no, but
Oh,
we were
boy.
amazed.
I think we need to recreate this.
heated.
I think it needs to be Emma and Kevin and see really who
Throw down for Spirit Points.
how many more years.
I know our class did Sister Act 2 was our theme. We had someone's mom made like nun habits and the whole get up.
How
we brought school
fun.
desks out there. We
Do you
sang
remember that
Joyful,
song?
Joyful.
Yes.
Yeah.
We did Grease, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
remember.
Grease is
I
good.
think it
Yeah, I
was
think we
just
did- I just remember we did Grease. I don't
that,
remember the
that
others.
lackluster,
Yes.
you know?
I think Kevin's class won because I like Grease. I don't know.
But anyway,
Those Spirit weeks were so
after
intense.
the lore is that after everything was said and done, the freshmen, my class, the
Yes.
class of 2007, won, and we would have prom day off. And then the seniors didn't like that and thought that they should have won.
Untrue.
Oh, yeah.
So
It was announced that the freshmen won,
it was announced that the freshmen won.
and the seniors
But
protested.
then the next day, the math department head, Miss Shaner, came down and said she made a mistake and inverted the numbers. And I don't think she would lie. And I know that our Spirit
Was she
Day
your
rocked.
favorite teacher?
A
Is that
likely
why you're
story.
saying that?
She
Because
was
you might be
not
listening.
my favorite teacher.
She
was-
became their favorite teacher after the seniors won Spirit
After
Week.
she
Oh, my
found some
goodness.
votes.
Mrs. Shaner, she was a very intense teacher, but I would say like I was pretty scared of her. But
There were a few of those.
I think-
there
Foley.
were a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I learned the most from her. Like I always struggled in math, and that was the first year that I actually felt like, oh my gosh, I get it.
Yeah.
So
I
maybe
feel
it was
like you
the
need
fear
those.
that helped
yeah,
me. I don't
you
know.
need some to get scared straight, right? Right.
Yeah. My English teacher was like
Yeah.
that too. Mrs. Wellico, right?
Well,
Yeah.
go.
Gosh.
Also
She-
intensity.
Yeah, very much so, right? But she held her students to such a high standard. And I think Miss Wellico was really one of the big reasons that I went into journalism.
Yeah.
So-
And I think you guys, that's what Foley is too. I mean, you guys have like a good, great set of teachers, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's why they're so loved with like, the Venturian of the Year Award, distinguished alumni, like all of that, Heart of Foley coming up. But I think coming up is like we're time's up right now. Isn't that crazy? Oh my God. So yes, our first episode, but I really want, to thank you guys. Please don't be our last, or this as your last guest here on our podcast because it's been super fun. I know you guys do a lot of robotics, so we can talk to more about that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, definitely come back. And like, share, subscribe, right? Is that what people say all the time?
That's back
the voice
from our
of the
decade, too.
Ventures, right? So thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.